Suspect programming stream, I guess, the coding stream, in which we are trying to develop with the best of our abilities, with the best of efforts we have here, an open source, a free software, what is it called, game, which is a social deduction game. And well, I was just going through these issues here on the GitHub, and I made a poll on Mastodon asking people if they have any idea what should I be working on, but well, no one voted. So from 0 votes on a poll that probably most people are not interested in, did not really help me figuring out which are the things I should be focusing on. So we are trying to get this alpha milestone done here. So there are a few things we have to finish up for our alpha version, and there are a few big things in this, which would be task system, lobby map, and the meeting UI is almost done. That's something that's waiting for review. There is a pull request from that, and I think I fixed this one already. That's also a pull request. What we don't have is task system. There is nothing publicly available that's been done for a task system, and this is a very big undertaking. Lobby map re-implementation and making a map, which interestingly the map is not even on the list here for the regular map. That's not for the alpha version, seems like. So I guess time to start doing something about the task system. So on my my Git repository here, which I basically forked from whatever we have, let's go back to Git graph here. So we have this meeting thing that we worked on last weekend, and I also did a free little extra work today for that. There is a ghost item fix, which is the fix for the other thing I showed you. And then we are on main now, so we want to work on the system for tasks. And maybe I should increase the size here for people who are watching this on the phone to be able to see it better. So we need to create a new branch for the task system, and then switch to the task. What? No. Task system branch, and well, let's start working. I guess I should cd into the src directory. Alright, so let's open our project in Godot. Let's think about what we need to do. What we need to do is, first of all, the game.tsc, and we have all these different Y-sort nodes which handle different parts of the map that's going on. So we have map, we have characters, we have corpses, we have items, and we have ghosts. And I think you're probably not this. So the map, we have a map template, which is interestingly, it's not a Y-sort. Why is it not a Y-sort? I think the map template should be a Y-sort, and we need so I need to change it here too, because I want a separate node, a specified node on which we will put task nodes onto, and that should be Y-sort by all my estimations. So where do I change this? Change type to Y-sort. Okay, that should be nice. And then let's add the new child node, which will be a Y-sort, and this will be specifically for task nodes, I guess. Alright, so that's nice. And then when we open like a real map, like the ChemLab map, then you can see that now the ChemLab map has the task nodes added to it. So meeting positions and spawn positions, they don't need to be Y-sort because, well, they are not Y-sorted. Now, of course, this polygon 2D will kind of screw up. It will look weird, so let's just take a look at what changing this to Y-sort has done for us. And that will be that this basically, this big thing in the middle. What? Oh, it did not change anything. I guess because, yeah, it did not change anything because this polygon is, oh no, where is the 0 position on this polygon? Well, I have no idea. I was expecting that my character would move behind it, but maybe. Yeah, my character is on a Y-sort, map is on a Y-sort, the map is a Y-sort. Okay, let's just start this again. I am interested in why it's not working as I expect. So, and for that I will have to, because my character never gets behind this polygon for some reason. Let's take a look at our remote here. I know it's not related directly to what I'm going to do here, but just curious. So we have characters here on a Y-sort, and then we have map, ChemLab, that's a Y-sort, and then there is a polygon 2D on it. It's kind of weird. What is this polygon position? Its offset is 800, 700. Well, let's if it was 0, then it would be in the middle. Yeah. So the center of this this polygon is in the middle over there. Why is it not sorted by Y, by the Y sort? Maybe Y sort enabled, Z index as relative. So Z index, everything has 0 Z index, I would expect. So map template has a Z index of 0, yes. Sort is enabled, so this one means, what does it mean? If true, child nodes are sorted, otherwise sorting is disabled. And in the game, we also, do we have sort enabled for everything? Characters enabled. That is interesting, very much. I don't have a clue why. Is this working as it is working? Why oh why? Okay, what is the character? How does the character look like? I'm just really curious about this. I know it does not have any. The character, it should probably, the character is not really ideally positioned because this 0 coordinate should be exactly at our feet over there. But whatever. Character transform is 0, 0, everything is 0 here, which is fine. Yeah, I guess I just have no idea how Y-sort works here, but we will figure it out later. Let's not get distracted too much. So, once we have a map with task nodes, yeah, that's fine. I don't think... Well, we'll probably have to work out a few things at least. But first of all, what we will definitely have to do, as far as I see it, is to have an autoload for the task system. And honestly, I've been thinking about whether characters and items, like these two autoloads, is this a good idea to keep them as autoloads, or should we have them here as an attached node on our game scene? Because frankly, the characters and the items, it is not really something that's universal. So this only makes sense once the game is loaded. When we are in the main menu, it doesn't make any sense to work on this. Connections, well, connections, you have to be able to make connections from the game menu when entering the game, so that makes sense to be an autoload. Appearance, you have to be able to store and manage appearances in the menu and then send it to the game itself, so that makes sense. Resources, scenes, transition handler, these are and helpers. What is game data? No, it's saving user information, I guess. Alright. So let me close this. Okay, so what should I should make probably an autoload, and then we will be able to discuss later whether these should go just as attached scripts somewhere, I guess. I mean, the tasks are strictly related to the maps, but I don't know. So should the map has everything related to the tasks? Problem is, of course, how do you interact with the tasks if it's not an autoload? But frankly, if the task system is attached to the map, that makes it much easier to reset also, because we wouldn't need to worry. Okay, so I will start developing it this way, and if we want to make it an autoload later, we will be able to do that. But first of all, how do we do this? That's the problem, is of course with the fact that once I start a new map, and I have not thought about it even for a second before starting this stream, so if you are watching and you are in the chat, then you can help me out with this, so let's discuss. So my problem is that once I have the tasks, I can't, I can't probably do anything because we are tracking our progress in the Git version control system. So if I just decide whatever I was doing here will not work out, I can always just restore everything in Git and, I don't know, remove this video and pretend it never happened or something. So what do I do? Let's let me try this. Let me attach a script here which game/maps task nodes, and this should be just called, I guess, tasks.gd. And so if I have a what? No, I just want to delete a few lines here. And if I save this and I go to the cam lab, and let's click here. So this one I can change the script here. I could change the script here, but that would mean that I will have to copy the whole script. So probably this task, I will have to just develop this in a way that it is very well. If it was an auto load, then it will have to be very universal. So yeah, I guess I'm just not gonna worry about this, because we will not expect this to be changed as the same way we don't expect an auto load to be different in every map. So how are we going to address the things here? So first of all, I think tasks, everything else but task.gd can be closed for the time being. And I guess what we can do is, whenever it's ready, we should go through all the children and collect information for all the tasks. And for that, what we need to have first, of course, we'll have to have a scene, which is a task prototype scene. And I just have no idea where that should be put, because frankly, everything else is under the game directory. So items, for example. No, item node. What about character? Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean. Okay, let's just take a look how this actually works. So, because what we have here, what I did, well, the flask.trs and flask and powder bottle, they are all in the items, but that's what I was thinking about. Maybe I should put those into the under the maps in the future. So I guess let's just create a new folder here. Tasks. And now, in the tasks directory, we can add a new scene, which will be our prototype task. So, task template will be its name. I guess this should be a Y sort, in all honesty. So, root node should be a Y sort, because, well, we can put things on it later. Yeah, I guess save scene as task underscore template. And the task template should what should it have? So I guess it could be very similar to the item node, which is well, the item node is a little different, I guess. No, it's not. It should not be similar to the item node. Maybe what we could be doing here, and I'm just thinking out loudly, which is basically this describes this whole stream, describes the whole purpose of this video, is me thinking out loudly while trying to achieve something. So what this definitely needs is, it needs to be okay. So task, what does a task do? Every task will have to have some kind of sprite on it, which we don't have to add to the template, because, you know, a chemical cabinet will be, of course, the first Stripe, I want to stripe sprite, but not sprite, but task. The first task I will be developing will be the chemical cabinet, because that is something I tried to do once and failed, so now I hope I can do and succeed with a new, more streamlined task system, hopefully. So what a task needs, first of all, it needs a script. It will have a very simple script, of course, because I don't know, you will have to be able to add the custom so okay, so this will be a very generic thing, and we will use resources to add to these tasks. And so what we need, this needs a script, task template.gd, very nicely, and what it will be doing. All right, let's no, we are not deleting this, we're deleting the text here. So what we'll have here is an export variable, which will be a task resource. Well, I guess it should be typed like that. And this will be a resource. Okay, so once I've done this, yeah, there is a task resource here. And how we will be doing with these resources, so we will have to create a new resource somewhere. And how do I do that? Maybe I just no, this is not how I create a new resource in Godot 2, or what is it, Godot 3. So what I'm going to do here is, of course, somewhere we have a directory full of resource classes, which is here. So can I create a new resource? Yes, new resource will be well, just general resource. Oh, very nice. We have resource classes here that we don't care about. These are all built-in resources, of course. But ability is something we made. So what I need is just a regular resource, I guess, and the file name will be similarly to these ones, will be task template. And there is a problem we just got ourselves into, which is, of course, that now these two things are called task template, which that should not happen. That will be very confusing. I don't want that. So what do we do instead is tasks, and this will be task, instead of task template, I guess it will be similarly to the item node, it will be just task node. That's what it should be called. Rename task underscore node, and this will be also renamed task underscore and node. So if I open a task node, yeah, the script is changed, everything is properly followed up here. Great. What is the changes on this? Can we undo whatever we did here? Scene. Oh, there is no undo anymore. So I don't know what the asterisk over there is about. Let's do not save and let's go back and maybe, yeah, I think it's fine. Alright, so now we have a map template open here for some reason, which we don't need anymore. Well, do we need this? Yeah, maybe we need this. It was premature to close that, but anyways. What I need to do is, now that I renamed this to task node, and maybe this should be in a different directory, just like the what is, let's close this maps thing here. So just like with the items, we have a separate for the directory for the item node. Yeah, I'm not sure about the directory structure yet, so whatever, I guess. Alright. So we have task node, and then we started working out the resource classes here. Which, for the resource classes, what we need to do is we create a code for the, where is it, task template.trs. We need a new GD script, which will be very simply extends resource class name class name task resource. Alright, and then we need to save it. No, we need what? Save this. What? This resource can be saved because it does not belong to the edited scene. What's the name? Oh no! Save as. Copy text. Okay, what is going on here? So let's close this card. What I need is a new GD script here, new script, which will be called task underscore template and create. And then let's open it. What? This will be extends resource, and class name is going to be task resource, I guess. Should this work? Probably. So if I go to task template, I want this to have a resource, or rather a script, this one. Great, so now I need to save the currently edited resource. Save. Okay, and now if I go back to our prematurely closed task node here, which and I don't know what was changed here, so let me just save this. So here we have this Y sort which has this task resource. So what we could do is we could technically, or theoretically rather, we could add this task template TRS over there. And well, now that we added this, what we could do is we could just change this, not resource, but this will be task resource. And what we could do now, invalid export type. Only built-in and native resource types can be exported. Oh! Alright, so how do we do this in the other places? Let me just save this. Thank you for the like. Yes, like this video if you enjoy the stream. So, how do we deal with this? What other place? The maps. I knew I closed my map prematurely here. So CamLab TSCN. So what do we have here? We have here teams and also vote resource. So a lot of resources are exported here. And unfortunately, we just named these. Okay, so we cannot specify their types, unfortunately. In the task node, what I need, I can only just do resource, which is very sad. And also, it is very hot in here, so let me just try to set my air conditioner up properly, because if I turn it off, I don't know what I'm doing. I am a simple man. I see DWM I like. Well, thank you, Jefferson, for your like. Whether it's a simple like or a complicated like, it just counts as one like. So, yeah. Thank you. So what this task resource should do, the task resources should have, and that is a task template, I guess. And we should have at least an initializing function. Initialize, or maybe just init, because I guess that's how I did in the other places, so we can keep things I guess consistent to some degree. So what about you, Jefferson? Is it your first time on your stream? I don't remember seeing your name before. How did you find this project or my YouTube channel, or however you ended up here? And at this time, I guess we don't know what. So every resource, every task will have to do its own thing. So they will extend the task resource, and that's how we will be. It appears on my YouTube start page. Wow, good to hear that, and thanks for clicking on it. And I appreciate your love for DWM. DWM is indeed the best window manager, and now that I've been using DWM for, I don't know, am I using it for a year now? But in any case, how it handles windows, the opening of new windows, that is how every desktop environment should work, or at least there should be an option. So if I open a new window, the assumption that that should be like the main thing on the screen, that is a very good assumption in most cases. And just putting, so I use my DWM setup, my active window, oh, I need to step back to the layout. So my active window is on the right hand side because this is kind of my left monitor, so it makes sense to have the most important thing on the right hand side. That's kind of the middle of my desk, and everything else is on the left hand or on the other side, just small windows. That's such a genius idea. You don't need to manually put windows anywhere. You just need to decide which one is the one you want activated and just activate that one. DWM is just so simple how it handles this. I really like it. But in any case, so that's why I keep using it, because so I hear many people complain about tiling window managers, like, oh, but you have to put like this window to the right, this window to the left, and you have to have like a special key combination for each of that. But that's kind of, yeah, you don't need time, you don't need to spend the time on organizing windows. This is what the window manager should do for you, and you shouldn't have to worry about like, where do I put this window, where do I put that window. If I'm using this window actively, that should be in the spotlight, and everything else should be organized around that, I guess. Very good philosophy. I like it a lot. So what we can do here is we can just call the task resource.init. That will be the thing we do. This is the only thing we do. And I guess what else we need to do is whenever I know I closed everything. I closed everything too prematurely here, but I need to go back to my map template somewhere. So my map template at the task nodes, that's what the task node should do whenever a map is loaded. And that's when I guess the task node gets ready, when it gets loaded. I guess you're coding a game. Yes, this is a game I am coding, and because you are new here, let me show you what it looks like. So this is supposed to be a social deduction game. It's pre-alpha, so I am trying to push out as much as I can. For like, we had originally the alpha was supposed to come out end of June. I postponed it for a month because I couldn't figure out everything. So this is kind of best part. You can randomize your character. Very good character setup screen we also have. This the game background would be 1950s East Germany. This is actually an East German police officer uniform that I painstakingly traced in Inkscape from an old photograph. Similarly with our hats. So this is actually based on an actual East German police hat. So you can change your skin color. This is not that historically accurate. We all know that all Germans are white and blonde, but well, this is a game where you need to be able to, you know, customize your own character. So maybe you want hair. So I can change the hair color here, so you can have different hair colors. And I have worked out a nice, what is it called, like a color filter thingy, where, as you can see, there are some kind of different shades in the hair. Maybe that's, you can see it better with something like this, that we have different shades, and the shades are replaced properly. Also for the, if I remove the glasses here, you can see maybe I give some more pronounced facial hair. We can change the hair, those colors also have different shades. Yeah, so this is kind of how character customization currently. Oh no, I don't join. I wanted to create a game first. So we don't have maps, character animations. I needed to rework the whole character, and we had animations, and I did not manage to rework the animations. So if let me join from another instance here, so we can join. And so this is our lobby. It has the green background, and I guess you can be assigned to the CIA, who is the impostor, or you can be just a regular agent. And we have items, so I have an item system where you can pick up an item. This is a chemical vial. So first map will be in a chemical plant where you have to kind of, as the CIA agent, you will have to sabotage the experiments of the East German government. You can, for example, this is a flask. This have a special ability, so you can empty the flask, and now you have an empty flask over there. And some other thing is you can call a meeting by pressing the red button. And there is a chat box that is not yet merged in. There is a chat box also here, but we can vote. And the votes, currently this is alpha, so the votes work, but they don't do anything. What you can do is you can shoot someone, you can kill them, and when they are dead, they appear as a ghost, but currently the ghost looks exactly like the regular character. So that's where we are at currently. And for the alpha version, I would like to figure out how to make having like different tasks in the laboratory to do, like to do the experiments and then try to sabotage the experiments. Yeah, it's a very, very nice idea. We came up with it more than 2 years ago, then worked on it for about 6 months, then the project stalled and most of the people left, and then when I had time to pick things up again, I couldn't figure out half the systems, how they were implemented, so I started re-implementing them again. But now better. But then, except it just became the same amount of mess, but because now I am doing it, I actually know what this mess is supposed to do. I guess free software development in a nutshell. But for the alpha release, which would be at the end of this month, if I cannot finish this by the end of this month, then it will be postponed by at least 2 months, because August, September will be very busy for me. But in any case, at least the systems I want to work, and then we can refine them later and add like the real things. So currently nothing really does anything, but at least, you know, as you could see, we have a system for picking up and putting them items and activating items. And now I want the same for tasks. And so for every, so now we have this ready function on the task nodes, which what I want is that I want to go through all of the, and thank you for the compliments by saying it's promising. It will be promising. I hope really that other people would join, and I think you can find a Matrix link down in the description section where you can join this project, even if you are not intending to, you know, develop it. It's a nice community. It's mostly I am the only one who is actively working on it. Other people give me advice and sometimes review my code. That is currently what's going on. But I hope as people, you know, get their lives in order, they will kind of join more. Because a lot of people who joined in originally were like high school students who just graduated. So now every one of them is in university where they have to get, I guess, things going. But in any case, so what I need to do, which language are you coding in? So this is the Godot engine, and Godot has its own language which is called GDScript. GDScript is something that's, some aspects of it are like Python, some aspects are more like Lua, but I never coded in Lua, so I'm not sure about that. But I coded in Python and I definitely see the similarities with Python. It also has a C#, a possibility to code in C#, but we have decided against it in the beginning, and then because it's the GDScript is what's better documented, I think. That was the reason at that time. So I need to go through all the child nodes of this node, which is the task node. So I have to keep in mind that the task node is what I am working on here. And for that would maybe, that will be every task node will be a task node, I guess. And in get underscore children task node dot something. Well, yeah, so this will have to run the initializing thing there. Or no, oh no, I already did do this here. So I'm currently thinking about do I, well, this task system will have to well, I guess it's better if I keep a track of all the tasks, or just maybe task list here, which will be an array. Are you yourself a programmer, or do you have any experience with coding? That would be my question. And then, do you use Arch Linux or not? That's the other question. So task node in get children, and I guess we could just task list.append task node and for this task node we should just get the task resource, I guess. Now why am I not following the language rules by using and this way we can in the future we can handle things in here, I guess. Okay, so we collect all the task resources, so maybe this shouldn't be a task list, this should be task resources to make it abundantly clear that this is the resources that we are collecting here. I just done some shell script, recently learning C. Wow, that is an interesting path to take. Shell script is very nice. I also tried to learn a lot of shell scripting, but it just has so many weird things, and honestly I did not have that many use cases for shell scripts. But someone once told me that Python is actually quite nice to program in, so now I kind of almost solving all my problems in Python, which I probably should pick up some, you know, C or something. But honestly, most of my problems are related to dealing with relatively large amounts of data, and Python just has such a plethora of nice data analysis libraries that it's very easy not to use, very difficult not to use Python for my problems. And if anyone's new to the stream here, please leave a like on this video before you I don't know, leave. Okay, so the problem with GDScript, of course, is that it's also an interpreted language, which is kind of slow for games, but many things are supposed to be done by the Godot backend, which should be better. Python eats shell script as a meal. Well, I guess they have very different use cases. The only big shell script project I did is like a backup thing, because I was too stubborn to use Btrfs on my system. So I use ext4 and I wrote my own shell script to do regular backups. And welcome everyone who's joining the stream. I see some people joining in, so why don't you leave a like on this video before you, and why don't you leave a comment, not comment, what is this, a chat message. Let's discuss things. I can see some people coming in the chat, in the what is it, stream on my YouTube analytics view, but the thing is that if people are using ad blocks, they don't count, so I don't see the exact number, and a lot of people usually join in with ad blockers. Alright, so once I've done this, what should I be doing? So task nodes, maybe I should work on the task node itself a bit. So this, what should the task node have beside having this resource which I added? But shell script is very nice if you need to work with files. So backup utility is very much best choice to write is in shell script. At least that's what I tell myself. So we need a child node here, which will be the interaction area, because we need an area of interaction. But for that to work, I guess what is the, that's going to be under node 2D. And what is a visibility modifier? Detects approximately when the node is visible on screen. Wow! That is an interesting thing. But that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for collision, physics body, collision object. So collision object base node for 2D collision, that's not what I'm looking for. Area 2D for detection, and physics and audio influence. So I guess this is the area 2D I need, and this will be interaction area, and because this is just a template, so this is telling me that the node has no shape, so it can't collide or interact with other objects. Consider a link collision shape 2D or collision polygon 2D as a child to define its shape. But I don't need to do this here because this is only a template. So each task that will inherit this template will have to add its own areas over there. So what kind of projects did you do in shell script? I'm very curious what kind of problems people find to solve with shell script, because, well, as far as I see Luke Smith's videos, you can do a lot of like a simple text manipulation with shell scripts if that's what you are working with. But I am, like, by day I am a scientist, so I don't really have text related problems. I need number related problems, and generally a lot of numbers are involved, for which shell script is first of all not a good idea. Second of all, at work I use Windows, so yeah, they pay me to use Windows, that's how I should put it. Collision layers, so we'll need to figure out the layers here. So what layers do players collide and what items collide, and then we can change in our project settings these layer names, which should be something something something. Where are you? I always get confused with this. So physics, no, layer names, 2D render, no, 2D physics, that's what we need. We have ability range and item pickup, and we have item collide. We should also have what should we have here? We should have what is it? Task collide. Is it collide? It's not really collide, but whatever. And then task activate. So this will be used on our players to detect when they get in range for a task to activate, and this should be used on the task itself, which will be, so because we need two areas, so Godot needs two areas to collide with each other to make things happen, I guess. So that's why we have to have two things. So what this will be on the players, and the thing is that when two players get, I cannot just use one layer for both, because that would mean that when the players meet each other, that would also trigger an event. So I don't know if I'm saying this clearly enough, but the layer what we need to put this on, did I save this? Yeah, it's saved, but maybe I need to click off and click on again. Yeah, task collide, and the mask will be task activate. Alright, so that is fine, and I shouldn't forget to change the character also here, because then the character itself will have to have, and maybe the interaction, I can use the same interaction that would be used with the items, because why not? So this same I can use, and because we have two separate layers, if this does not work out, I can change this to a different area for the two things, because I can either use the same area with two layers, or I can use two layers later. We will see. I guess for the alpha it doesn't really matter, but as we playtest the game in the future, as I usually say, there will be future Nice Micro's problem, and I am present Nice Micro, so alright, so now we have that. For the task, This is a task node, and let me just check the git status here. So we have modified character tscn, map template.gd, map template.tscn, product.godot, and added a few more files here. So I will just quickly do a git diff here to see what have I changed, and I guess now we have task resources. We have the new layers, of course. We have new files in there, and yeah, not much, because most of the changes are in these not git. Oh, I wanted to do git status, so are in these new files. So let me just add everything up until this point. Maybe before I do that, I should just check if the game still runs or not. Yeah, it still runs and I can still move around things, I guess. So game does not bug out with some exception. So let me just git add and then commit this as yeah, alright, so I can just commit this with the message base template nodes and resources created. And of course, what exactly these templates and resources and nodes and things will have to have, we will figure it out while we add our first first real task, I guess. And to do that, what I can do is I guess in the tasks directory, and this is something that I might be better off adding it to the maps, to my map. So I will make a new directory here for the tasks. And I guess tasks, okay. And let's create a new scene here, and the new scene will be the chemical cabinet, which how do I create? Maybe this is not how I create a derived node. Yeah, this is not how I create a derived node. Well, how I create a derived node is by clicking right click on this one and new inherited scene. Okay. This will be renamed as chemical cabinet and will be saved to, how do I, yeah, here, maps, camlab, tasks, chemical cabinet.tscn, but the naming convention for files is using underscores. Alright, so we have our chemical cabinet will have an interaction area which we can add something here. What do I add? A child node. And what type of child node does an area 2D need? Let me click this one again. Collision shape 2D or collision polygon 2D. Okay. Collision shape, I guess. And we need to add a new shape, which will be I don't know, let's capsule, make it a capsule shape, and we can always rotate it by 90 degrees for better or worse. So this is going to be our interaction, and of course this will need us to this will need some kind of sprite over here in the future, but currently maybe just let me actually I actually have some sprites somewhere here, so maybe I can open my what is this manager, file manager here, and bin OpenSus, and in the MISC somewhere we will have, no, unfortunately I don't have here, but I think in the OpenSuspect legacy, if I clone this properly, I should have, not here, somewhere I do remember having oh my, yeah, this is what I'm talking about when... Alright, I cannot find currently really quickly the sprite I need. So instead I will just add a polygon, which is, I guess, the way we are dealing with things here in general. So let's draw something here. And this almost looks like a chemical cabinet, if I'm being honest with you. As much as I've seen chemical cabinets in my life, which is a lot. So, but I need this to be moved. Yeah, what I need to do is maybe center this a little bit. Just eye it a little. Alright, great artwork here. So now we have a chemical cabinet. Alright, so what we need to figure out is that, first of all, let me just put it on my map. So I don't think I need this template open here as a thing. Let's save this, and then we can go to tasks and the chemical cabinet and put it on task nodes. Great, and then we can place it somewhere, I guess. Somewhere around here, maybe. 790. Alright. So we have the chemical cabinet on the screen right now. And now what I want to do is whenever someone gets into the interaction area here, something should happen, of course. How will we do that? We will be using the collision and interaction area, rather. We will have to, and that will be, of course, not just for this specific task, but for every task. So this interaction area will have to have an body entered, I think, emitted when a physics body 2D or tile map enters this area 2D. Requires monitoring to be set to true. Alright, is the monitoring set to true? Yes. Looks great. So what we need to do is body entered. And of course we can create a new function, interaction area body entered. Of course, we will have to print debug body. So this task node will tell us, okay, so for this let me switch to floating mode, and let's create a game, and let's start a game, and let's see what happens once we move close enough here. Well, apparently nothing has happened, which is not a good sign, which is a sign of something not being set up properly. So interaction area, this node has one connections. Yeah, and this is Godot looks pretty easy to use. The only downside, in my opinion, is that you have to learn the GD language. Yes, that is, and because, so for me, actually, the problem is that it's kind of similar to Python, but it's kind of different enough to confuse you. But in general, it's once you get the hang of it, you can figure it out. The biggest hurdle for me is still UI related things. Okay, so there is no, it does not say hi to me, which is very sad. So UI related things like placing, I mean, just creating maps themselves is not a big deal. Like you can see, just put things on the ground, or rather on the map, and things will work out. But if you want to make like a nice dynamically changing UI, that's kind of pain in the ass. So why, what, where, and how? So this interaction area is connected to this function. So I guess this should work. So task node, let me just check again the inspector here. So monitoring and monitorable. We need collision. And is this how items are implemented? Well, let me just... I'll just take a look at how the hell I did in somewhere else. Collision layer. Item pickup and mask is for items collide. What? Why is this an item node? What is this kinetic body 2D? I recently found OpenBor. Is it OpenBOR? Which uses C scripts. So you use C as a scripting language. That sounds a bit cursed, to be honest. Item pickup and items collide. OpenBor. I never heard of that. What is it meant for? But items, they do work. So collision object. What is the task node is, it's not what? It's a Y sort. It has an interaction area. And it is on task collide, and it is monitoring for task activate. Monitoring means that if true, the area detects bodies or areas entering and exiting it. Monitorable. True, other monitoring areas can detect this area. So is this... It's a beat and up engine. Open beats of rage. Oh, I see. That sounds interesting. It is very interesting to use C as a scripting language, though. It sounds unintuitive to me, but I mean, many things are unintuitive in our life. Why would it be like that? So this one, the character has a collision. Okay, so, because the character is an interaction. Oh, we have the interaction is an area. So maybe what we need here is not the where I am, not this body entered, but area shape entered. So let's just disconnect this and create a new function from here. And this is not body, but it has an area. RID area shape index, local shape index. Wow, this looks sadly confusing. What is the area? Oh no, this will be... This is not good. I'm just trying to realize that this might not be a good idea to implement this. Because honestly, the thing how we do it items is the reverse. Because when the character enters, so that's when things happen. So it's everything is done through the character. So we get an item, and then we deal with it and emit a signal about the item interaction. That is exactly the opposite as what I am trying to do here with this. Alright, let's just see if this is the way to implement this, if this works at all. Because now we are looking for an area and not a... And no, it does not work. Oh, damn you. Damn you all to hell. There is no way. I don't understand what's going on here. So, character interaction. So we have the interaction. This is a mask for item pickup and task activate. Okay. And then the character itself has a collision shape, but that is for literal collisions between characters at this point, at least. And then we have the interaction, which is masking. Oh, because it's only masking. It does not exist on these layers. It should also exist on these layers to be seen by the task node, because it's looking for the task. Oh, all right. Now, wow, I like this angry looking dude over here. So now, I hope this revelation I just had was true. Yes. But of course the problem is that the interaction is, and I have no idea how to increase the output font size. So unfortunately I will have to, you have to believe me that it says it's area 2D. Which of course the problem with that is multiple problems. But that is that area is not the character itself, it is just the interaction on the character, and yeah, that's not what I want to deal with. So I want to go the other way around. So I want the character to interact with the task, and not the task interact with the characters. Well, I mean, why not both? So we could put this on this layer, and I don't need to mask for task activate, I need to mask for task collide. And then this means that this interaction, well, the problem with this is that I definitely need to have a different node for this, because this node assumes that the item, that what we interacted with, was an item, and definitely not anything else. Yeah, the pickup area should only interact with items. So this was a stupid idea from the get-go from me. So what I need to do is I definitely need to add the child node as an area 2D, which will be, but why do I call it interaction? I should call it item interaction in that case, but do I use this node for anything? Yeah, of course I use it. And I just call it interaction area. Oh no! Naming hell is upon us. Because this will have to be task interaction for sure, and this will be item interaction. So I will have to be renaming things in code. It's going to be item interaction. Item, no, it should start with a lowercase item int area, and I hope the debugger will complain. No? Then I guess, what was this interaction area? Character node.interaction area. There is something. Already war interaction area. Yeah, so this is the thing we just renamed, and this will be in the item resource.gd. We reference this, so I will have to rename that. Item resource.gd. So we will have to change that a little. Where is item resource? I guess it's somewhere in the resource classes. Yes, so item resource, where was it? Item resource, line 95. Yeah, the problem is that I don't know about Godot being able to search in all the files in the project, so I need to use an external utility like grep or rg, which is just a better version of grep, to find things across files. But if anyone in the chat knows how to find something in Godot in all the project files, then please let me know. So in character node I need item int area here instead. Great, have I broken anything? I need to check. So let's start a new game, and let's see if I can still pick up items or not. Okay, so this works, and I can drop items, and I can pick up and empty the flask. So I guess I did not break anything. I renamed everything I need to rename. And I can... yeah, it's big characters for the stream makes this IDE very, very crowded. But the item resource and the item node, we don't need it anymore. So then I guess the task I might not need this either. So let's go back to our task node. I guess so we can remove this, disconnect this, and then just delete this functionality for the time being. And instead, what do I do instead? Yeah, instead I am approaching this. What am I doing here? From the character side of things. So the character will have to have another variable which will be, wait a second, character to the, did I not add, yeah, I did not add, what is this, a interaction range that's collision shape 2D, not the script, collision shape 2D, and this will be also a new capsule shape. This will be also rotated 90 degrees. Yeah, I guess this is nice enough. And item interaction is I'll remove this because this will just mask for item pickup and nothing else. Is this how it was? I'm not sure. And this one, the task interaction, will be only masking for... What the hell is going on out there? I heard some weird noises. Let me take a look for a second and I will be back in no time. Alright, so I am back. I thought something fell down, but I could not see anything that would have fallen down. So I excluded that possibility and I have no idea what was going on. So, and also no burglars. Alright, so what are we doing here? So the item interaction we are masking for 10. And for the task interaction we are masking for task activate. And that makes a lot of sense. And what else does make a lot of sense? So I guess the item node I can... This is just so weird. Can I just not remove these two things? Let me just... I'm just really curious why the hell did I put all those... tick all those boxes over there. So... yeah, now things don't work that I unticked all those boxes. Oh, because what? The item is on layer 2. No, what? The character... okay, so what, I need to clear my concepts around this thing. So we are masking item pickup, and we... no, actually what we need to mask is items collide, and what we need to be on is item pickup, because if the I end in this way, the item... yeah, item is on collide and is monitoring item pickup. And while we don't do anything about this, I think this is how things should work. Let me see if I understand the concepts of this game engine correctly. Because if I do not understand what made the... yeah, this is what it made it work. So that's why I need to understand this process to be able to use this process for something else. Like this thing. Okay, now for this the Y sort seemingly works, but I have no real clue what the hell. Alright. Let's not focus too much on that. So the chemical cabinet Similarly, as in item interaction is masking 2 and is on 10, task interaction will be masking 3 and be on 11. And the task node will be the reverse. Yes. Very good. And so the first thing we will need, of course, is to do something. Okay, so I just deleted the interaction related script previously. And now I need to create it on the player or the character itself. And here we use the body entered and body exited. And here we will have to... Does it make any sense to make a task a body? Does it or does it not? Making it a... Maybe this could be... Change type. Maybe this could be something else. Oh, someone did something on Mastodon. Oh, someone on Mastodon has been spamming me. Linux isn't an operating system. Please read gnu.org/gnu/y/gnu/linux. I guess there will be someone I will have to block on Mastodon sooner or later. I mean, I didn't even say anything about Linux, I just tagged #Linux for this stream. And they replied to my post on Mastodon that Linux is not an operating system in itself, which is... I don't care. Why are you spamming this on my stream? Anyways, not on my stream, on my Mastodon account. If you don't follow me on Mastodon, find my Mastodon link down in the description below. And follow me on Mastodon. I am posting the streams and videos I make down there. And I'm thinking about to change this to something else. But then I'm getting confused here. Because the player will interact with the interaction area. But what I need the player to interact with actually is not the interaction area. So maybe I am doing something wrong here. And I shouldn't, or really should not have committed my first drafts, because I'm just changing everything from there. So this could be... This could be... collision something. Collision objects, yeah, it could be kinematic body 2D. Rigid body 2D. The body is controlled by physics engine. Kinematic body 2D. Those neither makes any sense because static body 2D, static body for 2D. There is no physics related to this object. So maybe because what if... Okay, so let's just go forward with this. Area shape entered emitted when another area 2D's shape 2D enters one of it. This area 2D's shape 2D. The error ID of the other area 2D's collision object 2D used by the physics 2D server. And then the area shape... Okay, so there are a lot of things here which I don't see because... Maybe if I do this? No. Okay, so... Body shape entered. Okay, oh no. We just have area entered, which is much better. Image is another area 2D entered. Required monitoring to... Okay, so this area 2D... Could this task itself be an area 2D? Or... what we could do, something really stupid. Well, maybe it's not really stupid, but it's a kind of weird. We could do something weird here, and no, that would be so silly. If I would just theoretically, if in my tasks.gd for all task node, I would actually all the task nodes will have their own interact area. So if I open this script, already var interact area, which is an area 2D and is no? Equals, of course. Interaction area. Could I just create a dictionary here which var interact areas, which will be a dictionary, and in this dictionary I could do interact areas and just get task node dot interact area, and this will be also task node dot task resource. Does this even gonna work? Is this going to be working? And can I just print interact area, print debug rather interact areas? So let's see what the hell is going to happen. Did I break the game with my silliness here? Well, interact area has a okay. That is really nice. That is really nice, because now what I can do is the character can just simply interact with the okay, so what am I doing here? Character can simply interact. No, I need this here. So I need this to be bigger. Task interaction. So in the task interaction, I need the area entered and the area exited, of course, later. And just create both of these. And what we can do here, we can emit a signal, I guess. If main character, we only care, yeah, this is only works if we are on the main character. And when we exit, that's the same thing we need to do. We'll of course have to emit a signal here, which will have to be captured, but for now we are just printing debug messages all over the place because I just want to see wherever I break something in the meantime. So once we enter and exit and enter and exit, that's nicely done. And in the, what is this, tasks.gd, yeah, I removed that debug printing. Okay. This task.gd will have to do something. Okay, so for example, first of all, let's see how this character, this item interaction works in real life. So let me clear this, and we'll see that this is the signal where we emit the signals, and we also have new character.connect into item interaction, self item interact. Okay, so where is this? Game.gd 101. Game.gd 101. I can do the same thing with, of course, I need a different signal over there. Why is this always changing? So in the game.gd I need different things here. And that's going to be, of course, task interaction and task interact. The item interact hot node.item. Okay, so we need something similar but for the task. So, and I have no idea what the hell this will be doing in the meantime. So how does the item interact work? Task interact. Yeah, task interact is the thing we need. And we need the character to emit a signal. Well, I guess we need to define a signal here first. Task interaction. And this will be task and the interaction. We can define, okay, so I don't think I use this often to define the things we need to pass with an interaction with a signal like that. But in any case, what we'll be doing here is emit the signal that this is a task interaction, of course. But we are not emitting. Oh no. And we need area here for both of these, and of course this is not going to be a task, it will be task area, because that's a little different than how we handled the other things. And so once we emit these signals, task interact should have two things. First of all, area, which is, what is that? Area 2D, and interaction, which is a string. Well, action, I guess. First of all, we need to get hold of the relevant task or resource. So task resource, that's you, and task resource will be current, or no, actual map. Yes, there is an actual map variable which contains the instance of the actual map, and the actual map will be, I guess, map template. It has a vote resource. Let's take a look at, no. Map, where is my map template? Here, map template has task nodes, and the task nodes have the interact areas there. Okay, how will we do that? Map template will have to have a variable, an onReady variable. That's a y sort and is task nodes. So from game we can use the task nodes dot, and the task nodes will have the interact areas, and we need to get the interact area in there. So what we need, maybe need an assertion here. Interact area in whatever this is. Well, it's not like, well, if it's not in that, then it will actually complain anyways. So I need to give like a good debug message here in case there's some problem. Task interact area not registered to task ? And then maybe we can print debug task resource and action, just to see if anything actually happens when I walk into this ugly white thing. Okay, something happened. But only the exited is fired, the entered isn't. Okay, maybe I am dumb somewhere and I actually wrote entered when I meant exited. Yes, that is exactly what happened. So now if I enter and exit, resource something something entered and resource something something exited. And this is very good because from now on I can do whatever I am doing with the, in case of the items, which is going to be, I will need the HUD the head of display to do something for me, which is going to be related to task resources, but of course HUD node will have to contain the proper function for that, which is going to be task interact. And where is my head-up display? Alright, so you can see things are getting out of hand here. Too many things are open at one time. Script for the HUD node, and there we have, oh my, item interact. Function, oh no. Task interact, it will have to be task interact. And it will have to be very similar to this, but of course it's going to be task resource and there will be add task to interact and then remove task interact. Very good, but we don't have these functions, of course. So we will copy these. Let me put it just over here. So of course, task resource, we need the task resources. And this will be add task to interact and remove task interact, which is very nice up until this point. But unfortunately, we'll have to modify some of the head of display's behavior to be able to accommodate what we're just trying to achieve here. And for that, what we need to do is we need to add another, what is this, age box container, I guess. And then maybe the abilities, items, maybe this should be the first, is the, what is this? You know what I should be doing instead is just remove this. Delete this node and instead just copy this one, duplicate and rename. That's going to be our strategy, because this is UI and UI is a painful thing to do. Which is, of course, going to be task interact. And now our head of display can have a script related to that. And first of all, already var task int box age box container equals game UI slash task interact. Very good. And then we'll have to have a task interact scene similar to these scenes here. which we will be having a different thing here. Task interact button. So at this point, I think many bays, this can be closed. Task node, oh, chem lab, chemical cabinet, character. I guess I'm just going to close everything here. Can't preload resource at path because it does not exist at this moment, which is unfortunate, but this is what we are here to change. So in the HUD we have all these drop buttons, which is going to be like this item ability button. How does this look? Okay, so this is what I am going to be copying here. Has a very few things that it does, and I guess it does those things well, I guess. So let's copy the item ability button, duplicate it, task activate button, no, not activate, the task is interact. Was it task interact button? In my script here. Yes, very good. So task interact button should have its own script. But I will copy this one. The item ability button will be copied. Save as task underscore interact button. Great, now I have to go back to my 2D view and task interact, detach script, and then attach script. Great. So now task interact button, texture button. It's not going to have any items. It's going to have a task resource, and maybe we'll have a task name. We don't have to have that. And then I guess we'll have to get something here from the task. Assign type does not match the variables type, which is, of course it does not match. Does this mean that the task will have to have interact button? Maybe it should be just task.button sprite, which is very weird because this definitely does not have a button sprite thing yet. Still not complaining, so I guess task is a new task. It does not need to have a name. A new task is going to be another task resource. And then attempt. No, it's not going to have any attempt, it's going to be interact. So definitely we need on the task which is going to be what? Task resource. Where is task resource? Task template, yes. So task template will need to have a variable which is called button sprite. Which is a sprite. The assigned value sprite does not match the variables. Okay, that should be a texture. And then, I don't know, maybe the init function should set this button sprite to something. But I don't know what to set this to at the moment. So init. That's fine. What else do I need? As button sprite, we need this needs to be a texture. Yeah, and I need to save it. And we need an interact function here, which is, I guess, at the moment does not do anything. Maybe we can print debug message here. Okay. So we have the task interact button. What about our heads up display? The identifier item res is not okay, that's true, but first we need a task interact scene dot instance, and then we can new item icon dot set item resource. Well, this is going to be an instance interact scene. We need a setup button. Wait, what? This new item icon, how does this work here? Set item resource. What is this? New item pickup scene. That's item pickup button, so I guess that has a function that sets the item resource. When do I set the item resource to this interact button? Setup, there is a setup button, alright. Setup button with the task resource, that's great. And then of course I'm not going to do any checks here for the moment. It will be in task int box.addChild. And then we also will have to I guess we can just add the task resources to this. And then find the interactable task resource, and then those should be removed from there. Question is, of course, will this do us any good? Yeah, probably not. Yeah, it's probably not gonna do any good for any of us. Because this wants to go from characters get items. Yeah, that's not really what I should be doing here. When is this refresh pickup buttons? Big pickup buttons. Hide pickup buttons. For interact a icon instance. In interact remove child refresh. Yeah, those are or item ability buttons and then refresh item buttons. Okay, what is this doing here? I need to check this more closely, I guess. So guess what is the character resource which we are looking at? And we just get rid of all the buttons in drop UI. Get rid of all the buttons. Okay, drop UI picked up and item use will be all emptied. What is drop UI? What is picked up and what is item use? Interactable. So those are, I guess, items that are picked up. So what is drop UI? How many times do we have drop UI in this? 4 times. Great. First of all, here, and only this thing cares about the drop UI here. Interesting. What about picked up? Only 3 matches. And what about item use? Okay, 1, 2, yeah, that is at, oh no. That's also not used anywhere outside. Okay, so maybe this drop UI is used somewhere else. Drop UI. No. These are arrays that are only used in this one function. This basically what it does. So in this where we are, the HUD, the head of display has all these the item interact, item use, and abilities. So once these one item pickup and item drop, and this is using item special abilities. So I guess the drop UI is all the items that you can drop. Oh, okay, so what we need is, so every UI element which is related to dropping items will be removed. When is this refresh item buttons called LOL? Oh, it's called multiple times from the game.gd. Oh, because, okay, but this only concerns of these 3 things: the item dropping an item, putting it down, whether the item is picked up, and the item use. What are these 3 things? In any case, so we need to, so this item use, this will contain, I guess, lists of items, and then the button list contains the list of all the possible abilities that a specific item can have, and we can refresh it. And this one will never have any effect on interact UI. add item to pick up. So this will create a new pickup button and then put that pickup button to the interact UI and the item resource itself into the interactable. That's fine, and if we ever need to remove one, then we just look it up. Yeah, this actually should not interfere at all with the remove and add task to interact. So this should, in theory at least, there should not be any conflict. In theory. Now, of course, what we need to do is for any of this to make any sense. So what is it? Task interact button. We'll get the button sprite from the task template, I guess. Task template will not do anything else but give us a debug message. Alright, so I definitely need a texture here. How can I just create a texture out of thin air in Godot? Texture. Texture works by registering an image in the video hardware, which then can be used in 3D models or 2D sprites or GUI control. Textures are often created by loading them from a file. Texture is based for other resources. It cannot be used directly. Texture is based for other resources. Okay, maximum size is big. Methods. Enumerations. Okay, can we just create a texture out of thin air? Void draw. Texture get size. Get data texture has alpha. Texture draw. Okay, texture. Okay, it draws the texture using a canvas item with the visual server API that has specified position. Okay, this is very, very high level, or rather very low level, for which I do not have sufficient understanding of what the hell is going on here. So instead, why don't I make this texture exported. Can we have exported textures? And when I have the map open, which I need to open the map again, now this chemical cabinet, what do I need to do here is can I editable children? Yeah, I don't think this is doing what I'm trying to do here. Task interact button, that's not, no. Oh yeah, that's something. Task template. Oh, there is it. So yeah, sorry for that. I got carried away here, but this is part of the resource, of course. So can I just load in a texture over there from a file or something? I guess we can do that. Alright, let me see if anything works or if something breaks. Something will break, I guess. But what will break? And what will break first? The debugger is already printing errors for not used things. So the buttons appear, disappear, and I can pick up, put down, that's fine. And now I picked up an item with abilities. So now we got into a problem. Invalid call to function setup button and base control. Because of course what? I mean, I kind of have an idea what might have went wrong here, but so an item pickup happened and refresh item buttons is called. So first of all, hide pickup buttons is called. That went down without a problem. And then wait a second, so hide pickup buttons was called item inbox. Oh, it just removes from the interact instance. What is it? Yes. Remove pickup item and item. Okay, so that is not a problem. The problem is item ability scene.instance and setup button in base control, task interact button. Expected one argument. Why? How did we get a task interact button over here? So character res dot get items character resource opened up its items, and there is an item called, what is this? 3712, which is incidentally this flask, which is, I mean, this is what it should be. It's item called flask. Great. But it's an item resource. Where is the problem? Line 102. New ability button is item ability scene dot instance. And the item ability scene, what did I just... Item ability scene is item ability button. That is an item ability scene. Oh no. Oh, something went wrong here. Item ability button. No, no, you don't. You need your own child. No, you know, you need your own script. The item ability button.gd. That is true. And task interact button. You need task interact button. Item ability scene. Item ability button. Task interact button. Item ability. Oh, right. Okay, so that's been solved. Now I can pick this up, put this down, and that works fine. If I pick this up and I put it down, pick up, empty it, put it down, that works. And then when I move towards here, I can get in, get out, And when I get in and this button appears, I can press the button and it will tell me that the task is trying to be activated. Very nice. And if I pick this up and put it down here, and now I activate the task, pick up, put down. Great! Alright, whatever I was trying to do, I have managed to do that. And seemingly things work now. So, of course, there is nothing is happening at the moment. And of course, there should be not, the button should not be that. But, you know, one step at a time, I guess. And let's clear this. Let's see our Git status. Oh my! Modified character, modified game, modified HUD, modified item node, modified the map template, modified tasks, task node. Everything's been modified and even new things have been added, so I will save this progress and git commit -m dummy task interaction interface in task interaction button on HUD implemented. Alright, git push origin task system, and then I will push it also to upstream. Git push upstream task -system. And so everyone watching this, thank you for joining me for today. This is going to be the end of today's video. Alright, so now if we go to our code tracker here, what you will be able to see is we have a new branch here called task-system. Not gonna make any pull requests of this because there's nothing that works right now, of course, but you can check it out. You can pull this branch. No, not this. What is this called? Yeah, it's a branch. So you can pull this branch into your own fork if you want to work on this. And please make a pull request from your fork to this branch, into this branch first, instead of just pushing it into it like I did if you start to work on it. Alright, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys the next time. Bye.